Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Why? Okay, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is brought to us by the team from Lucasfilm. Uh, it stars Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and I can't remember the other one's name. I'm so bad at this. Um, so the film is in 1969. Um, Indiana Jones in the present. He's an old man. He's very kind of depressed. Um, Marion has left him, and yeah, he's just in a really bad state. So the film starts off with this scene on a train, where there's this kind of time dial, I want to call it, because the actual name I cannot remember, nor do I think most people will remember the name of it. Created by Archimedes, I think that's your man's name, and basically the scene establishes that they were meant to find something, but they found this instead, and we learn it has the ability to turn back time. So we're in Nazi occupied territory, we're on a train, and Mads Mikkelsen's character is there. He's kind of like a professor in science and stuff, and he's a big believer in mathematics. He's been searching for this a long while, and it this whole scene is actually good by Indiana Jones standards. Isn't anywhere near like, any scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark or Last Crusade. No, but is it fun throwback? Yeah. Now, after this is where the film spirals out of control, and it all kind of really begins with the introduction of Helena Shaw. Now, for credit, she is an entertaining character, but, and there is a big but with that one, as time goes on, there's kind of like more things that you're kind of like more annoyed with her character. I walked out, and the first idea was, why is Helena Shaw like that in the film? Obviously, the film has picked up a lot of negativity from fans and from some critics. Um, but like, this film does not work as a film of Indiana Jones. Not to say that we haven't had any good female characters in the series. We have uh, Raiders of the Lost Ark. We have Marion in Temple of Doom. Okay, maybe the one there isn't brilliant, but she is fun and entertaining. And then Last Crusade, I'm so bad. Excuse my knowledge of these films. It's been a while since I've sat down and watched one of these. And then King of the Crystal Skull. I do not hate that film. Now, do I think it's the best indie film? No. I think that falls to The Last Crusade, in my opinion. But that film is really, really good in comparison to Dial of Destiny. Dial of Destiny makes Kingdom of the Crystal Skull look like a masterpiece. And that's saying a lot. So, like, the film, obviously, Indy's depressed and stuff, and he gets brought back into this chase when Helena betrays him. I'm not going to tell you in what matter, because you can see the film for yourself if you're ever going to get to see it yourself. This film's just frustrating after this point, because we have this group of, like, Nazi wannabes trying to get after Indy, and this is where Mads Mikkelsen comes back. And apparently his whole backstory to Indy is that Indy just hit him in the head on the train, and that's it. He holds a big grudge. Brilliant character work there, guys. Just brilliant. Not really, no. But like, yeah, just can't believe you did this to such an iconic character, especially for Harrison Ford's last go round. Oh, and I haven't even got to the best part yet. This film cost $290 million. $209 million for a film budget. Then you take in marketing costs, You had taken the actor's cut of the theatrical release, the cinemas, who want half of the money for putting it on, and you have other things, and they need in total 800 million to break even. A similar film that has just came out of, let's say, similar budget, actually the same budget as this film, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, that film, Mission Impossible Now, looks like $290 million. If I was to think, what could I do with $290 million? Obviously, there's a lot of things you could do besides make a movie, like charity and stuff, helping kids in Africa or whatever. But, you know, if you had to make a film with $209 million, Mission Impossible is what you'd imagine it would look like. And Indiana Jones 5 looks like something you'd make for, like, maybe even, like, just maybe, like, $70 million? The film's filled to the brim with CGI, and it makes no sense here. It's just, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to a series that has relied on mostly practical effects? Like, the first Indiana Jones was 20 million. The next one was about roughly nearly 30 million. And then the go around for Indy was something like 60 million in Last Crusade. I could be wrong, but basically this franchise has been very kind of mid in terms of its budget. But now Hollywood has to make another one, and they had to go bigger and better. There's better stories in the first three and the fourth one. The fourth one is where it kind of enters into 100 million territory, but like even then that was mostly practical effects. And like, I don't know how to feel about the film in terms of like, because like, alright, it's entertaining for a bit, but then the Helena Shaw and another sidekick is brought in, and the sidekick was actually fun. Obviously they have a vendetta kind of against Indy a bit, for various reasons, but you know, there's a fun little interaction between them and Indy sometimes. But the film just, it's like a big, you know, hate almost Indiana Jones. Now, for a second, I'm going to talk about James Mangold. Obviously, James Mangold is a really, really good director. And I would say that if he was left free to make the Indiana Jones movie he wanted, then chances are we would have got a better film than this. In this, you can almost tell the studio interfered a lot with maybe the original idea, because the original idea isn't bad per se, but it is badly executed, and I don't think we have like Mangold to blame. I think he's a guy who'll try everything in his power to like make the film the best he can make it. Now obviously there are some creative choices here in the film, but like the real issue is more with Disney than it is with Mangold as a director. But like, the film does not need to be $290 million, and as far it's only made back maybe like $190 million. I don't know how much it's made back. Hasn't even made back its budget yet. So like, would I recommend the film? No, don't go see this. If you really have to wait for it to be on streaming, but like, don't see it in cinemas. It's not worth your money compared to other films that are out, such as Extraction 2, which I'll talk about that. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I'll have a video up for that. Or I might have, depending on when I get this one done. Out of 10, what would I give it? A measly 2 out of 10. This is bad. This is on my worst films of 2023 list so far. Because, like, I didn't leave the cinema thinking that. I thought maybe it's just, like, 5. But, like, as time's gone on and as I've thought about the film in comparison to other films that came out, and in comparison to Indiana Jones films, this is by far the worst of them. This really should just be called Helena Shaw, because it's mostly her film. And that's the problem. It's mostly, you know, Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character's film. It's not really Indy's film. Indy is being dragged, essentially, through the film. And you can't help but think, like, this is Indy's last go-around. and yet we're spending more time with Helena than we are with Indiana Jones. Like, what's going on? Anyways, there's a bunch of problems with this film. Uh, Nothing really I've said here hasn't been said anywhere else about the film. It's just not worth your time, money, or effort. So yeah, like 2 out of 10. Don't see this. That's me over and out. Reviews for Elemental and Extraction 2 should be up in a few. It depends when I get this all done, but up in the next few days. Yep, that's me over and out.